morning, everybody, and welcome to a very special edition of Charity First Handicapping Challenge. Of course, as you guys know, tomorrow is the finals where we got Benny South Street going up against the Uber capper, Ellis Starr, to see which one of those two handicappers will take down $1,000. But today, it's all about my racehorse. And Chappie, you've been on my racehorse's bandwagon for quite some time.
That's right. Two of my favorites here, of course, Joe Moran up in his suite that they use every single day, and Nick Hines back in the Hoorah building. What's going on, boys?
Nicky started off.
Hoorah, Can Hut. It's a pleasure to be here, and I'm a little jealous because you guys are apparently out at the track, and I'm in my home studio, but it's a pleasure to be here. Of course, working with my racehorse's finest West Coast racing manager, Joe Moran, and of course, racing manager of Edge. It's a collaborative effort, and today, of course, for the greatest cause of karma. And of course, horses in retirement, these horses to go out there and they try to make winning days for all of us, but at the end of the day, doing our best from a charity standpoint to make a wonderful life after the track for them.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a pleasure to be on, and to touch on that, what Nick says, that's the most important part. And I can always tip my cap to my racehorse. Start from the first time a share is purchased to every time a share is purchased, money is going to the TAA. We've worked with Karma directly. We've done a lot of fundraisers for them. Same thing when COVID first kind of broke out, we did a lot of stuff for the back and things of that. So always we can try to help the game and support. Is a big key for them, and that's what makes this industry keep running.
It's a fantastic weekend for Karma and the TAA, as you mentioned. It's going to be a big day, Karma and Aftercare Awareness Day on Monday, Memorial Day. We're going to have a very special show as well with a couple of members of Karma on Sunday. So you definitely want to go with that show. We're going to have the Vice President, Howie Zucker, and of course, Mr. Koch, one of our favorites, who's always brings some personality to this, and he's a member of Karma as well. So great charity all weekend, and great to have the Sarge on here because it is Memorial Day weekend, and I don't know anybody more patriotic than my man Nick Hines. I remember going back to his barn when he was a trainer. He had the biggest American flag you've ever seen in your life. His barn was always impeccable. And you always felt just like so patriotic whenever you walked by his barn. And he himself, of course, just exudes pride for our military. And it's great to have him here on this great Memorial Day weekend, Chappie.
Nick, I'll throw it up to you for that one. Come on, man.
Well, thank you, George. Appreciate that. And of course, in trying times as we have endured on the heels of what was a really tough year last year, but I think at the end of the day, as we get ourselves back into the kind of grand scheme of normal, if you will, the new normal, I think we certainly need to take a step back and thank our forefathers and those who have fought for that right and our freedom. Our freedom is not free, and again, Memorial Day not only to pay tribute, give tribute to those who've laid their lives on the lines and, of course, put their lives in front of their own to provide for the freedoms that we have today. But those that currently serve, the salute goes out to each and every one of you out there. And I believe on Monday, as much as I would like to get out to the track, it's going to be a great day. And I understand that the book is good, a nice full card, great Grade 1 racing, and, of course, the Gold Cup, one of my all-time favorite races, the Gamely, the Shoemaker Mile, named in honor of one of the all-time greats in late great Bill Shoemaker. It's going to be a great card Monday. I'll be in my home studio with the watch party for My Racehorse Live as we got Going to Vegas, looking to go earn that Grade 1 victory, already Grade 1 placed, coming off of that sharp win last out.
And Joe, you guys are still offering some shares available for Going to Vegas. Is that correct?
Yeah, I know, there was kind of one of our last chance emails that kind of went out yesterday or this morning that sent a lot of shares going quick now with the game week quickly approaching and everything kind of being finalized. So once entries come up today, I'm not sure if we'll make it past the weekend, but there are some you can get in at myracehorse.com. And it'll come out. We're going to have an event. We have a couple different options on Monday. If you want to come join the My Racehorse team, myself will be out here Joe Mishak, our operations manager, and also Randy Johnson. So we'll have a good team out here, and we're looking to have an exciting day. So it's always, anytime you can run in a grade 1, it's exciting. It's going to be a competitive race, but it would be quite the achievement if she could take that step up and win a grade 1.
Well, not only is Randy Johnson a great pitcher, but he also handles people well at the track. So, Joe, tell us real quick about My Racehorse and about edge racing, something kind of new that you've come up with.
Yeah, so My Racehorse, it's the best thing I say about My Racehorse. It's a great way to get diversified in racehorse ownership and learn about racehorses, the ups and the downs. So, in horse racing, if things can't go right 24/7, they are living animals. They're athletes, just like any athlete that plays a professional sport. So it's a great way to get involved. One-time fee. When you get involved, you pay that upfront cost, and that's going to be your only out-of-pocket expense. That's the best thing for me. I've owned horses on my own, and once those horses get in training, you can't stop feeding them, and you got to take care of them. So that's a great thing about My Racehorse. And for an opportunity like going to Vegas, you get to get involved with a filly who's already proven, and you get to compete at the highest stages. On top of that, the ultimate goal is if we can get a grade 1 win, that's only going to increase her value as a broodmare. That's the ultimate play with a filly like this. We also have opportunities where you can get into a 2-year-old that's, unraced, where you kind of take that gamble of what is that horse going to develop to be, kind of get that dream. So they offer all these different options that can ultimately suit whatever you're looking for. And then I guess Edge, going into Edge, it's going to be more of your traditional syndicate. Nick Hines and I are managing and running that. We started off with some pretty solid, good success on the East Coast and West Coast. And yeah, it's a great way if you're looking to take that next step up. We offer shares at 5 and 10% level. You can get your owner's license, get a little more of that guaranteed access. With My Racehorse, we have shares up to 1,000 or 2,000 sometimes on horses. So sometimes when you want that guaranteed paddock access, this is a way to get you that guaranteed license and paddock access and everything like that.
Love it. Georgie?
Hey, fantastic. I'm telling you what, there's nothing like owning a horse. The first time my horse that I owned won, I put it up there as one of the most exciting days of my life. I mean, getting involved in horse racing is just phenomenal. And this is a great way to get started with My Racehorse. You learn the ins and outs, then you move up maybe to Edge, and then, you have your own horse. I mean, it's really an exciting way to get involved. And you look at all the people who were involved with Authentic. How exciting was that? I mean, you saw Zoom after Zoom after Zoom of Authentic owners absolutely going nuts when Authentic won. So that's the kind of feeling that you could look forward to if you become part of My Racehorse. The plan here today, Chappie, is to raise money for Karma. So let's see which one of our handicappers can turn that $300 into over $1,000.
Did we lose him?
So that you've been involved in My Racehorse from the beginning. So each of us usually pick a member to be on our team. Since you are the My Racehorse kind of guy, I'll let you pick first. Which one of these two do you want on your team?
I'll take Joe, and you can go with Team Oorah.
Fair enough.
All right, I got Nick Hines. Boy, that's I'm happy as heck. He's one of my best friends at the track. He's got a hat on right there, but a lot of times he has a hat like a fedora like mine. In fact, he's a man who wears many hats. And there's that old saying that says he's a jack of all trades, master of none. But there's more to that. There's more to that saying. Jack of all trades, master of none usually is better than just a master of one. He does so many things. Started out, in the military, a trainer. Now he's a jockey agent with Jose Valdivia Jr., one of the best riders, and especially on the grass, just a spectacular rider, so strong, so confident. You're going to do well if you have him on one of your racehorses. He also does many shows like this. He's on TVG. We've shared that together where, we love being on TVG and promoting this great horse racing that we have. He does it all. Now he's part of My Racehorse as well. He tap dances on the side. He's in a musical. He does it. I mean, what doesn't he do? He does it all. And famous for he won a race once, and I think and he came down screaming at the top of his lungs. Who can forget that? That was
What do you mean
before.
once? He did it every time.
Oh my gosh, that was one of the most exciting things I've ever seen. He was going absolutely nuts, and the camera followed him down all the way down to the winner's circle. Oh man, he is embodies what horse racing is all about, and I'm so glad to have him on my team.
Wow. I mean, what can I say? I guess the reality is there's not much more to say than to kick the tail of our counterparts.
There you go, baby.
I mean, what are you going to
I feel
do?
like I lost already. This is tough.
Wow, what is this? I mean, he went into a 10-minute tirade about how great Nick Hines is. Let's go, George. I mean, let's go, Joe. Let's kick their butt. That's all I can say. I have nothing else to add.
All right, let's start it off. Nick, you got $100 to win on a horse. A lot of people looking here going, where can I put my $100 to win? Let's tell them where they should go with it.
Well, they did just come out with the scratches for the card, and fortunately for the selections that we've instituted, both between Joe and myself, I think we dodged a bullet there. I'm going to go to race 3. This is a starter allowance today at Santa Anita, 6 furlongs on the turf. Actually, the start of the Rainbow Pick 6 as well. I think for many, folks will look to the John Sadler Lalique, the French bred, ridden by Flavien Prat. I think this horse is an overrated morning line favorite at 8-5. I'm going to go with the home team here. Jose Valdivia aboard a horse by the name of Shanghai Sunrise. She's been training splendidly coming into this. She's won 2 of 3. In fact, she was part of a 2-win day back on January 23rd for Jose when she broke her maiden by 6.5 lengths. I kind of got the feeling that Mike Pipey, along with the ownership group there, Ty Green, SLO, I think they were taking a base on balls. She's been smartly spotted. She comes in off the starter non-winners of 2. This is starter non-3. First time turf, question mark. But Shanghai Bobby's stats are kind of moderate on grass. But this horse is a sibling to a 4-time turf winner. So I like this horse. I absolutely love her today on sheets. I think she's a great sheet play. If she likes the turf an ounce, she gets the perfect pace setup. I'm going to go Shanghai Sunrise 6-1, race 3, the 6, $100 to win. And I think there's so much value to be had there in all aspects.
All right, number 8, Shanghai Sunrise, owners SLO Racing, and we're going to slowly take the lead and draw off on you and Joe Moran. Go ahead, Chappie.
Another reason these two always talk about the sheets too, Joe. So they belong together, this group. So let's get a winner here. Where we get with our $100 to win and why?
Yeah, we're going to go head-to-head, same race. Also, 6-1 shot. I'm going to look to the inside to Smiling Annie for Mark Lack. Coming off the layoff, speaking of sheets, the one horse has the best numbers by far when looking at Thoroughcraft compared to anyone else in that field. I do have to say she's going to have to overcome the rail. That's going to be my biggest knock there. The last time she was in starter allowance company, she was an easy winner by 3.5 lengths. It was a 4-horse field. But I think ultimately today, I don't think there's a standout here. I think she's a filly that always tries. She's come up at Santa Anita 10 races. She's been in the money 5 of those 10. And I think this is just a great spot for her. She's been freshened. From the works that I've seen visually, I know if you look at some of the Clocker reports, there weren't any eye-catching works. But visually, what I've seen in the morning, I think she's training great. And I'm going to take a shot at 6-1 of her.
All right, Joe, quick question for you on Smiling Annie. Obviously, you're very close to the Mark Latt barn. Yep. Did you get a little bit of insight on her? I mean, she hasn't raced since last year. Is she going to come back firing? Apparently, you believe so.
I believe so. She's training well in the mornings, and I think it's a good spot for her.
Okay, I like it.
Wow.
6-1 on a pair there. That's, folks, if you're tuning in right now, you got a pair of 6-1 shots. That's pretty nice.
Couple of 6-1 shots going head-to-head. Georgie, going to be interesting from a pace standpoint in this race, and we'll see what happens. But I like they're going head-to-head right off the bat, the $100 win part. George? You're on mute there, George.
Come on back, George.
Come on back.
Sorry.
There you go, buddy.
There you go. Sorry, you got $100. You can either do a ice-cold Exacta or, hey, there's a John Doe DeCat says, Sarge, hoorah.
Hoorah, a 10, huh? That's the other thing.
Let's pay attention to Sarge is going to give us what to do if we had $100 Exacta to play with. Where are we going, Sarge?
Well, I just, honestly, I was actually looking more so at the late double today. As much as I love the late double, But I want to get a quick reminder here because I had to kind of dance around a key scratch. But let's get some verification on where that Exacta is, because I danced around the landscape here a little bit. Tyler,
You had an Exacta in the 7th, box of 1-2.
Okay, so I'm going to go back with the rail again, and this is a horse that is aptly named Rail Splitter, drawn inside. New trainer today in Doug O'Neill. He took the training over on this particular horse, Jonathan Wong, who I thought did a very good job, but Doug had this horse previously, so he's familiar. I tell you, Rail Splitter is the type of horse that needs to have terms and essentially be on the lead. The rail's set at 30 feet. I don't see a lot of pace in this race. Rookie year, could show some speed. This horse stretching out off of the sprint. Unless Abel Cedillo sends for his life, I can see Rail Splitter getting a comfortable trip here. He was unfortunate to have been beat last out when Cedillo incidentally rode the winner for Doug O'Neill in Foothill. So in Cedillo's mind, he may think that Rail Splitter doesn't have enough resolve, so to speak, in a spot like this. So I'm hopeful that Rail Splitter will get the lead as we intend, and this horse will go gate to wire. But from a sheet perspective, again, I think Mark Glatt, he comes in with a horse by the name of One Night the Standards, which is ironic, having Joe Moran, of course, my longtime friend. His father used to own a horse by the name of Blues the Standards, and that's a whole other story for another program. So I'm going with an Exacta box here. Rail Splitter, One Night the Standards, I think, should be able to sit just in behind those leaders, unless for whatever reason someone else goes out there and does a kamikaze and presses the pace. I think this looks like a merry-go-round race. I think it sets up nicely for Rail Splitter. He's dispatched 4-1 in the morning line. I'm going with an Exacta box. Mark Glatt may be the beneficiary here off the pace with the 2. A 1-2 Exacta box.
1-2 Exacta box for Sarge, and trying to beat Hammer and Lemon, who's your favorite. So that Exacta should certainly pay well, and well on our way to victory, Chappie.
Yeah, I did not know that about Blues the Standard, by the way. Very interesting. All right, Joe, where we go with our Exacta and why?
Yeah, we're going to start off race 1 of the day. Calbred 2-year-old filly, maiden special weight, and I'm going to be looking at Flavian Pratt, number 6, Money Penny. I'm assuming this horse will likely go off as a favorite. Ran into at the spot for Luis Mendez first time out, who was the talk of the town that day, and won like it. I think this horse, by Munnings, is going to come back. I thought it was a very respectable effort first time out. It's going to improve. Had 3 weeks from that race, and I think you're going to see a big effort here. I'm going to key that horse on top. Look for the Doug O'Neill first-time starters. Anytime we have a 2-year-old race with these square eddies, you seem to see those horses fire quite often. And workout reports were pretty honest on the horse. They said she's a hard trier, and you like to see that with a 2-year-old. And I'm also going to use Luis Mendez, the inside one. He's got 2 in the race of Drizella. Ran second again to Big Treat. Second time out by Stanford, who I think is going to come into California and make a name for himself pretty quick in the California sire department. And I think that's going to be a pretty cold race, in my opinion. Hopefully we can get Money Penny on top and start off with a lead early there in race 1.
I like it, Georgie. So we're going with the 2-year-olds here, and starting off with Pratt on the second-time starter. The very familiar names, Walter Solis and Terry Lovinger, and that should give us a nice early cushion to start the day on our way to victory against you two bozos.
Ooh, wow. That's very, very kind of you. It's good. It's good. George, the reality is that you have way more experience than our friend Chappie does, and especially from I know that you serve the proper cause, so I think we're in good shape here. Karma rules. Let's put it that way. And
Karma rules.
Wow.
Karma rules.
All right. Before we get to your daily double, Sarge, tell us a little bit about what it's like being a jockey agent for Jose Valdivia Jr. I know that man exudes incredible confidence, has been around for a while, really knows how to ride strong, and you're doing a wonderful job with him. Tell us what that's like.
Well, it certainly has been a challenge. When we essentially put together a plan back in November, it was right going into the holidays and on the heels of the pandemic, and being that I travel, for sales and do the bloodstock work, and of course the effort with my racehorse along with Joe and Edge Racing, it's been a challenge. And especially in the climate that we have here in California, because it's not what it was, say, back in the 90s when, you'd have an average of 8, 9, 10 horses per field. So, and, you know the story. What have you done for me lately? But I think in Jose's case, he's been an absolute professional to work with. His work ethic, his professionalism as far as just being able to give feedback and when breezing horses and riding horses. And I think his efforts on horseback are timeless. I think if you look at his riding today at 46 years of age, and you relegate it back 14, 15 years ago, he in fact, I think he actually looks better in most aspects because of the new whip rules that they have. A clock is something that is ingrained and something they never lose. It's been good. It's been challenging, but I'm very optimistic that, with a little bit of luck, we can gain some momentum. But Jose's been great. We're very fortunate to ride for the likes of Mike Pipey. Obviously, Ron Ellis has been good to us. Peter Miller, John Sadler, and getting into those types of barns, I think is crucial, as to have success. But, I praise the day that I did take on the challenge, and I'm grateful for the opportunity. It's different, but it's kind of a microcosm of training horses. The only difference is less overhead. You still have to deal with the headaches. The horse part is the easy part. It's having to deal with the multiple personalities and trying to adjust your sails. But I enjoy it, but it is definitely tending to be an uphill climb because, right now at this stage of the game, we're only racing 3 days a week. But he's been great to work with.
Well, continued success for you and Jose Valdivia Jr. You've got a $100 daily double. Where are you going with it and why?
I'm going to focus on that late double. I do think that the seventh race, despite the fact that I don't like the favorite there at Hammering Lemon, Hammering Lemon, if this horse is able to rate, exhale, and finish, he's going to be heard from late. But I think the horse is going to absorb money in that spot as race trackers for Ron Ellis. And we opted to stay with Rail Splitter for trainer Doug O'Neill. And, as much as it's frustrating when you see the trainer change, this horse is doing well. He's thriving. I saw him, based on the physicality of how he looks, I think that he's in a very good spot right now. So I think Rail Splitter can go gate to wire. I fear Mark Latt. I think that race just comes down to those two horses. So I went ahead and keyed those. And then in the nightcap, Promised Nothing. Andrew Lerner, Edwin Maldonado, who's also been having a solid meet. But Andrew Lerner, we know what he's capable of. First off the claim, he's had a solid meeting, winning at 17%. And, I think this horse, there's pace to set things up for him. So Promised Nothing is going to be my key. And I think the aspect of this horse is the fact that he's taking the blinkers off. I like that move. I think it's a wide open race. I think Crooked Finger Ray could end up taking a little too much money. So I see value, blinkers off, Maldonado back board, Promised Nothing, my key in the finale. So a late double, 1-2 with the 4, a $50 cost of $100.
All right, 1-2 with 4, and Andrew Lerner, one of our favorites, no question about it. He's been on the show many times. He is certainly one of the up and coming superstar trainers in our game, and we love Andrew Lerner and always rooting for him. Chappie?
And Edwin Maldonado have been riding very well.
Very, very well, yeah.
All right, Joe, where are we going with our double and why?
Yep, we're going to look at the same exact sequence here. Obviously, we have a little bit of different opinions here, but I'm going to be keen race trackers in race 7. I'm seeing a little more speed here of Hammering Lemon stretching out. I really don't think that horse is going to be sitting off. I mean, when you look at that horse's route races back when the horse broke its maiden at Del Mar in August, even when it ran second the time before that, that horse is pressing the pace. I know fractions weren't blistering quick. Rails are going to be out at 30 feet. I don't think they're going to let Rail Splitter.
Hold up. Well, I got one thing to say, Joe. Oh. You do realize that both Rail Splitter and Hammering Lemon are trained by the same guy, right? You think they're actually going to duel each other in submission? Really?
Well, are you going to take a horse out of its game?
You have to. You're just going to let Rail Splitter walk the dog, give us a win.
So what is Rookie Year going to do when the horse just went 46-3 and now is getting 2 turns, able to do? I can't see that horse not going. So
that's the fear horse. I would agree, but go ahead, brother.
We're excited, George. This is perfect. Now they're getting at each other.
I love it. So I guess looking there, now you had the decision. Flavian Pratt had the decision to either ride the Mark Latt number 2 back or go to the Ron Ellis. Flavian Pratt sticking on or going to the Ron Ellis for the first time, getting that stretch out. I think from that outside post, he's going to break. I think he's going to be forwardly placed. I don't think he's going to be on the lead. And I think he's going to get a good stocking trip there at 5-1. I'm not sure if we'll get that, but I think it's a great price at 5-1. Looking in the last race, I agree completely with Promise Nothing. My fear is the horse is 1 for 20. Horses like that, maybe they just don't love to win. I'm going to also look at the Jonathan Wong runner.
Jonathan Wong is scratched.
Just kidding. I'm not going to look at the Jonathan Wong runner. We'll reroute to the outside of Doug O'Neill. He claimed this horse at 25 non-2 where the horse won. He tried an open allowance race at Golden Gate. Horse didn't really care for it. Then he tried stretching him out. I think getting back to the sprinting distance is going to be key there. And if he can replicate anywhere near that 85 buyer number, I think he'll be a big factor there. So we'll look 4-8 in that race versus 4-6.
That might have been the greatest transition ever, George.
That's fantastic.
You didn't even skip a beat. You said he was
right to the 8.
He just named like 3-4 things he liked about the 8 horse instead. So that was wonderful. Joe, you should win on that alone.
All right, we only got 2 minutes left in the show. So quickly, in case our handicappers end up in a tie, we need a tiebreaker, and we are ready with the spinning wheel of craziness here to see who's going to go first in the tiebreaker. The tiebreaker race is going to be race number 6, and we're going to find out here in a minute who's going to get first pick. All you got to do is beat the other guy's pick. You don't have to win the race. You know, you can come in 6th, and the other one comes in 7th. All right, here's the spinning crazy wheel of to see who gets to pick first. Go for it. Ooh, the excitement is too much to handle. Man, we got props and we're prepared to use them. All right,
George.
You go first. Sarge, who's your tiebreaker pick in the 6th?
I'm just going to be the consummate homer today, I guess. I'm going to go with the 2, keep it classy. Valdivia for Joe Herrick. I'll tell you why. In these maiden races, the one thing that I've learned is I generally try to gravitate toward horses who can pass with consistency, and that she does. So keep it classy for me would be the tiebreaker. So in other words, Joe Moran, you could have that 7-5 favorite Catla.
Yeah, I don't think I have a choice besides using the 7-5 favorite, but I think your horse is very live there. And the horse is very honest and hard trying. So I'm going to just go to the 5 by default there.
All right, those are the tiebreakers. Hopefully one of our charges will get over $1,000. Joe Herrick, I like that guy. He's over there at San Luis Ray Downs. Obviously went through that tumultuous time with the fire over there. Joe Herrick, really a good guy, a really good guy, and I wish him the best, and you guys as well. My racehorse, definitely get involved. I suggest you go to their website, look up. It's easy to get involved. You're going to have such a great time. You're going to learn so much. You're going to be part of this great game that we love, and you're going to get to love it as well. Chappie, any last word before we say goodbye?
No, I want to thank you, gentlemen, and thanks for keeping it classy, and good luck to both of you. A little bragging rights on the line here.
Oh, absolutely. It was a pleasure. It's always a privilege to be in the same room with you 3 gentlemen. Joe Moran, I hope at the end of the day you'll have learned something.
Hoorah.
Hoorah.